Why do some people spend their entire lives working hard and still struggle financially, while others start with nothing and eventually build wealth that lasts for generations? Ancient Chinese merchants had a simple answer. Wealth is not created by luck. It is created by discipline. For centuries, Chinese merchant families followed a philosophy that transformed poverty into prosperity. And it all began with one simple habit. The habit that most people ignore today. Most people believe that wealth comes from earning more money. They think a higher salary will solve their financial problems. But history tells a different story. Many people increase their income, yet they never become wealthy. Why? Because wealth is not determined by income. Wealth is determined by what remains after spending. Among Chinese immigrant communities, there is a famous idea often described as starting with nothing more than a mat and a pillow. It represents people who arrived with almost no possessions, no capital, no connections, no advantages, only their hands, their discipline, and their willingness to work harder than anyone else. Many of these families eventually built successful businesses, not because they were lucky, but because they practiced patience and self-control. The first law of wealth is simple. Save before you spend. Most people do the opposite. They spend first, then try to save what is left. Unfortunately, nothing is left. Ancient Chinese merchants understood a different principle. Every coin saved was future capital. Every unnecessary expense delayed future freedom. Great wealth is rarely built overnight. It grows step by step. 1 becomes 10. 10 becomes 100. 100 becomes 1,000. Small disciplined actions repeated over many years create extraordinary results. The problem is that most people want the result, but they do not want the process. The real reason most people never become wealthy is not a lack of opportunity. It is a lack of discipline. They confuse consumption with success. They buy things they do not need. They seek comfort before security. They focus on appearance rather than capital. And slowly, their future disappears one purchase at a time. Many successful entrepreneurs started with almost nothing. Before they built companies, before they hired employees, before they attracted investors, they learned to protect every dollar. They understood that capital is the seed of future growth. Without capital, there is no business. Without discipline, there is no capital. Ancient Chinese merchants left behind a timeless lesson. Wealth does not begin with money. It begins with self-control. It begins with patience. It begins with the ability to sacrifice today for a better tomorrow. The question is simple. Are you building wealth, or are you spending it before it has a chance to grow?